do you mind sharing what the top 3 questions you typically get asked by your your listing clients?
Okay, so on a listing, everybody wants to know, what is my house worth? And that's a really good question. What is my property worth? I bought it, I don't know how many years ago. We've done these improvements. What is the market doing right now? And that's really what almost every seller universally wants to know. What is it worth right now? Second questions are going to come in like, what can I do to raise the value? What should I do to prepare or clean out or stage my home? And then, with the seller as well, we really need to find out what their goals are individually, because as an agent, we're literally becoming an agent for our client. Our job is to look out for their interests and help them accomplish their goals. And you'd be surprised, not every seller is so worried about getting the most money out of a project. A lot of sellers want it to happen the way that they need to. Maybe they need to sell their house really quickly. Or my best friend sold his house a few years ago in Clearfield. He was moving to Seattle, and he wanted to sell his house, but they did not want to move for 3 months. And the reason for that was they wanted to leave their kids in school until the end of the school year, but we sold his house in April, and we were able to accomplish that goal. We sold his house, he stayed there for 2.5 months after the sale, and we accomplished what he needed. So what are your goals? We need to understand what you're looking to accomplish and the intricacies of it, because it isn't always about that almighty dollar.
Awesome. Wow, that's very cool, Trevor. It's interesting you talked about what is my house worth. I had a friend of mine represent a buyer earlier this year, and they purchased a for sale by owner. In this particular case, the house appraised for $30,000 over what was being asked. So unfortunately, that for sale by owner, I'm not sure exactly where they got their value from, but as you talked about, that's super important, is what is my house worth? Because if you're using, let's just say, internet-based, free to the public, research, oftentimes those aren't too accurate, and in this case it was $30,000 inaccurate. So I think that's very important, is what is my house worth, and really nailing that value down, if it is about the almighty dollar. But in your particular case, that's a great story where someone could stay in the home for 3 months after it was sold. And what's also nice about that is that gives him the cash the cash to go out and buy his next house in Seattle without having to worry about his house closing.
Yeah, in fact, he was already living up there with his new job, so he had to get ready, purchase the home, where his wife and children were still here in Utah waiting for the school year to end. So that's kind of one of those scenarios where when we first talked about that, we were like, I don't know if that's going to work, but we'll try.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things that if you just put your mind to it and you ask for certain things, or you structure a deal a certain way, you can get a lot more than you thought maybe you could. And working with probably a qualified professional who will help ask those questions can really be the ticket to making it happen.
Wonderful.